Hello students, welcome back to this lecture series of Design and Analysis of Algorithms. I'm Kirti Sharma. I'm working as an assistant professor in ST Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Today in this lecture series of DA, we have two topics to discuss. Like up to now we have discussed lots of sorting algorithms. So different sorting algorithms, for the different sorting algorithms we will discuss the analysis part, like what is the time complexity of the algorithm. So each and every algorithm whatever we have covered as a sorting algorithm, today we will discuss the analysis of all those algorithms. Next we will discuss the Stress matrix multiplication using the divide and conquer technique. So let's start with the introductory part. Like some key points, keywords are there in the while you're using the sorting algorithm. So first one is in place and out place techniques. So stable, unstable, in place, out place. These are some key points that you need to just memorize or summary. I'm giving here the summary of those points here to mark. So in the sorting technique is the in place. When it is in place, if it does not use any extra memory to sort the array. What it's mean actually? Two types of sorting algorithms exist: comparison based techniques and non-comparison based techniques, right? So in among all the comparison based techniques that we discussed, only merge sort is the outplace techniques, because it need extra array or extra memory to merge the sorted subarrays, right? So if any does not need any extra memory, then it is known as in place. Like merge sort is needed, like it needs extra memory or extra array to merge the sorted subarrays. That means merge sort is outplace technique. And what about the non-comparison? We have already covered like a comparison. We are doing the comparison and taking out the shortest element at or right any element at its right position, right? So in an array, in non-comparison based techniques is like counting short, bucket short, hash table, bucket short, Reddick short. These are the non-comparison based techniques, right? These particular sorting techniques uses a hash table for sorting the array, right? So all the non-comparison based techniques are always all outplaced techniques, not in place, because all needs extra memory. As a hash table they need to arrange or to sort the elements. Next is stable, unstable techniques. So what it's mean actually? A sorting technique is stable when it is stable if it does not change the order of the elements with the same value, right? Out of comparison based techniques, like comparison based bubble sort is very simple actually, that we have not covered, but it's very simple. Most simplest algorithm is bubble sort. As you are having a line, and in which you have to settle it down from shortest height to the largest height. So everyone will do the comparison. Every student, in the line, will do the comparison, and they will adjust accordingly in a line according to their heights. That is an example for the bubble sort. Insertion sort, merge sort are stable techniques. These comparison based techniques are stable techniques. Why? Because we already discussed, like sorting technique is stable if it does not change the order of the element with the same value. Like four elements are there, right? Here four elements are there, 4 4 1 3, but 4 is repeated twicely, right? It is repeated. So selection sort is unstable. Unstable. These sorting techniques are stable and selection sort is unstable, as it may change the order of the elements with the same values. If we have the same values in an collection of elements which we will need to sort it out, then or if order is changed, order may change, then there is a possibility that order may change for this 4 and this 4. That is called unstable. Example for unstable is selection sort. If order will remain same, if this one is the first 4, that will come at the first place only, this one is the second 4, it will come to the next place only. So this type of techniques sorting is known as stable techniques or stable sorting. Okay? Then next we have in the first iteration the minimum element found is 1, first iteration, and it is swapped with the 4 at the 0th position. So at the 0th position, this one, it will come over here 1 and 4, it will come here, right? Next, what it will do, therefore the order of the 4 with respect to the 4, this 4 at the first position will change, it will change the position. Similarly, quick short, heap short are also unstable. So these are the unstable: selection short, quick short, heap short. These are the example for unstable techniques, right? So it may change, it may possible like the position of this particular 4 and this particular 4 may change after comparison, like one will come here, now we will compare with both of them, then it may possible their position may change. So in case of selection short, quick short and heap short, it may possible that the values with the same values may change their position. So out of non-comparison based techniques like counting short, bucket short are stable sorting techniques, whereas radix sort stability depends on underlying algorithm used for the sorting. These algorithms may help you in like competitive exam point of view in your syllabus. These are not included non-comparison based techniques, right? So next we have here some short key points regarding the sorting algorithms. First point, when array is almost sorted. When your array is almost sorted, always use insertion short. Always use insertion short, right? When array is almost sorted, not completely. Of course, if it is completely sorted, then no need of sorting algorithm at all. But almost sorted, then use insertion short algorithm. When order of input is not known, like how many numbers you need to insert in the array, then in that case merge sort is preferred, as it has a worst case time complexity and log n, and it is stable as well. So in that case we will use merge sort. When an array is sorted, then insertion or bubble sort gives the complexity of n, but quick sort gives the n square complexity when the array is sorted. So in case of quick sort, mark this point. In case of quick sort, you have to trace it. You need to trace it out, like array sorted or not. If it is sorted, insertion and bubble sort will give you the complexity of n, but quick sort increase that complexity, and it will be n square. So these are the key points or takeaways that you can see here regarding sorting techniques. Next, we have some, like this is the main analysis or a comparison table for all the searching and sorting algorithms. These sorting algorithms, radix, count and bucket, are non-comparison based techniques, and these are the comparison based techniques, right? So bubble sort is having the best case omega n. Omega leads to what? Lower bound. Lower bound means n greater than equals to omega g of n. What it means is equals to omega g of n. Omega leads to what? Greater than equals to, big O leads to less than equals to, theta leads to equals to. So we are using here like fn always be greater than equals to g of n. Fn and gn are two functions here. So in best case you can say n times you need to compare or you need n time you have to compare in order to sort it out, right? So average case n square, worst case n square. And what about the space complexity? These are the terms about the time complexity. This one is the space complexity. Always we will take the worst case in the space complexity. Why? Because it may possible like in worst case we decided to take the space in the memory maximum to maximum that may need in future, but that's why like extra storage should be there for each and every execution. If it will not be present, then our complete task that we have done will be very poor. So in that order, we have to take it here in the space complexity worst case scenario only for completion of the execution. So order of 1 is the worst case here for the space complexity, because each and time we are comparing one by one. So 1 pass, 2 pass, pass 2, pass 3. So we will see this thing. Selection short, omega n square, n square, n square, and 1. I hope we have covered all these things, but you to take the like to see the takeaways over from here regarding the sorting algorithm and the n square on square. So Pico means upper bound, everything should be less than equals to that thing, and omega means lower bound, everything should be greater than equals to this, right? So I hope it is very clear to all of you. So these are the takeaways that you can see over here, right? So next we have stress and matrix algorithm, matrix multiplication. So first of all, to understand this matrix multiplication, we need to discuss the simple multiplication of two matrices A and B. Let's assume A and B are the two matrices of n by n matrix. Multiplication methodology that can be used over here. We have a function multiply int a n b n c n. So we have not decided it over here. We are not deciding. It's up to you, like you want to give the size here or not, right? For loop we are applying I and j up to n. Cij is the for the resultant of the two multiplicative matrices case there. So let's take an example. There are two matrices. Matrix A equals to this, matrix B equals to this. If A is a matrix, B is a matrix with these 4 elements, then C will be the matrix after this 2 by 2 matrix itself, right? If whatever is the size of A and B, the resultant matrix depends on the rows and columns of the matrices, like 2 by 2 matrix, 2 by 2 matrix. So we need to take care of this thing here, like column of first one matrix and row of second one matrix, that should be the same, and whatever is remaining as a dimension here 2 2, it will be the size of resultant matrix 2 by 2, right? If we are having 3 into 2 is A matrix and 2 into 3 is a second matrix, then this one same, so resultant matrix will be of 3 by 3 matrix, right? So it's a very simple, clean and clear technique that is going in front of you. So what's the next here? For loop, like I starting from row and for row, and this one is for column, and Cij is there initialized with 0 because we are trying to fill the values, resultant value over here. Then k we need to take it here over here, like common things, like first C11 will be equals to what? C11 equals to A11 multiply by B11 plus A12 B21. So first row and second matrix column. In that manner we have to multiply, right? Yes, simple multiplication, all of you know. Like 1 1, okay, then I K multiply by B K J. Yes, of course it's okay. Plus same thing AIK and BKJ. And where you are storing it? CIJ, right? So whatever you are getting over here, you have to store it over here. So k is we are taking as a third variable that will be common in for row and column. Row of first matrix, column of the second matrix. Sorry, column of the first matrix, row of the second matrix. So it's up to you, like how to utilize these formulas. I hope it's very simple. You all know the matrix multiplication very well. So next thing that we have to cover is how to solve this divide and conquer technique with the help of how to solve this divide and conquer techniques using the divide and conquer techniques, how to solve the matrix multiplication. So divide and conquer technique is basically multiply the two square matrices, like divide A, matrix A and B in four sub matrices of size n by 2 n by 2 as shown here, divided into two parts n by 2 n by 2. Calculate the following values recursively, like this one is multiplied by this, so a11 b11, right? So next it will be plus bg, that means a12 b21, so a11 b12, right? Here it will be a11 b21. So row number and column number here must be same in order to establish the multiplication. For each and every variable or row and column, you need to find out it over here recursively. Okay, so it's all about divide and conquer. Lastly, you will get over here the resultant value a plus bg, as we know a e b g. Yes. Next is a f b h. Next, first row completed, second row with the same column c e d g. Then this one c f d h. All are covered. That means we are clear. 2 by 2 matrix. 2 by 2 matrix always give the resultant matrix is 2 by 2. Wherever there is a need, then you have to divide the sub matrices in the n by 2 format, and at last after solving the sub arrays need to combine all the matrices with the help of outer memory, extra memory. So that's why we said here merge sorting is also an example for the outplace sorting techniques is there, right? So next we have, like in the Straussian matrix multiplication, like we have already covered these things, like how many, what will be the time complexity. There are the 3 lobes that are going to the nth term, that means n cube will be the time complexity of the simple matrix multiplication. But what if we use the divide, conquer and Straussian approach? Straussian approach is generalized, like if we are multiplying these, let's wait here. Yes, so how many pluses addition is there in the resultant? 1 2 3 4 resultant only. How many multiplication? 1 2 multiplication, 3 multiplication, 4 d into h, f c into f, c into e, d into g. Total 8 multiplications are there, 4 addition are there in the resultant. So 8 multiplication of matrices of n by 2 n by 2 and 4 additions are there, right? So that means n by 2 creates what? N square, of course. 4 2, these all are the constant values. So we need to take the here n square. So you can also solve it out with the help of recurrence tree or substitution method. So order of n square will be the time complexity of the matrix multiplication here up to now. So the time complexity of the Straussian can be written as, with the help of this statement, 8 times. We know very well 8 times it is repeating, t n by 2 plus order of n square. That will come over here. Now you need to solve it out. So with the help of Master's theorem, time complexity can be solved it out here. That will be order of n square, it is also as it is. So we have the formula over here. A value is 8, B value is 2. Division value and divided by B, and this one. So we need to check log BA. So log BA, that means log 8. Log 8 will be 2 raised to power 3. It will be 3, right? So what will be the next here? 3 log BA is 8, less than or greater than of the value. So we need to trace it out with the help of Master theorem, and you will get over here order of n cube, like n square as it is, fn value we will take and multiply by the n. So n square is already there, n will multiply there, then it will become order of n cube. So upper bound we have to take, we need to take the worst scenario of the execution of the algorithm. So simple divide and conquer also leads to the order of n cube. Can there be a better way in the above divide and conquer method? The main component for high time complexity is 8 recursive calls. No need to repeat the process again and again. There is a single functionality that need to apply, and it will execute whole complete the program in that manner, right? So it was all about the divide and conquer technique. So how you can apply the divide and conquer on the Sturgeon matrix multiplication. So this one is the example for Sturgeon matrix multiplication. It reduced the number of recursive calls to 7. Before we see number of recursive calls to 8, now it will become 7 here, right? Sturgeon method similar to both simple divide and conquer technique method, in the sense that method also divides matrices sub matrices of size n by 2 n by 2, right? So here P1 is a value, like these two are the matrices, like P1 is the value, like it is divided it into the subparts in order to get better clarity, like what 7 things could be there. P1, at the place of P1, what could be there? A into F minus H. A, this one, into F minus H, right? So what it will be there? At the first place. Then we have to find at the second place, third place, and fourth place, right? So when we will see here F minus H. So AF single component is multiplying by both the here component. So these are the key points that you need to remember regarding Sturgeon matrix multiplication, on the basis of which this multiplication is depends. Here ABC are the square matrices of n by n, and small abcd are the sub matrices of A with the size n by 2 n by 2. We have divided the sub matrices into n by 2 matrix, right? So these are the formulation on the basis of which we have written this, like P4 value, P4 5 terms, P2, P6 terms are there. So we have mentioned it over here. Next we have time complexity. What about the time complexity? It decreases the multiplication by 1. So previous we have seen the 8 multiplication will be there in the simple divide and conquer, after applying the simple divide and conquer technique in the Sturgeon matrix method, multiplication method. Here we are using the Sturgeon method, so it will execute it very well, like it reduces the time complexity little bit. How is it possible? Like what are the general Sturgeon's methods is it is not preferred in the practical application for the following reasons, like constants used in the Sturgeon matrix are high, and for a typical application Naive method works better. And for the sparse matrices, there are better methods especially designed for them. And the sub matrices in recursion takes the extra spaces, and because of limited precision of the computer arithmetic, non-integral values, that means that you can say large errors accumulate in Sturgeon algorithm than in Naive method. So it was all about the takeaways that you are seeing here regarding the Sturgeon matrix. Previously we have seen the analysis part of the all the sorting algorithm and the tabular comparative study for them, and here we have discussed like simple how to multiply simple matrices with the help of divide and conquer method, what Sturgeon added it into this. So here time complexity of the like Sturgeon math added some of the functionalities, like it reduces the number of the multiplication from 8 to the 7. So it reduces the time complexity and improved it in somewhat, like it reduces the time complexity by 0.2 something. Okay, so this was all about the Sturgeon method. So up to now we have discussed like we have completed with the unit 1. From next lecture onwards we will discuss the greedy method approach, greedy dynamic approach. So stay tuned with the lecture series. Thank you. Have a nice day.